how are you today? I hope you are okay in this situation. Keep your healthy and stay safe. In this video, I would like to describe about hotel organizational structure, especially in the front office department. To fulfill my assignment from Mr. Rajin as my lecturer. But before that, I want to tell you a little bit information about hotel and front office department. Hotel is a commercial establishment offering lodging to travelers and sometimes to permanent residents, and often having restaurant, meeting room, store, and etc. that are available to the general public. Of course, the hotel has many departments to provide service to the guests, one of which is the front office department. Front office department is the one of the many departments of the hotel business which directly interacts with the customer when they first arrive at the hotel. The staff of this department is very visible to the guests. As general as I know, in the front office department, divided into several parts. So over here, such as front office manager, and below the front office manager, there is a assistant front office manager, and below after that, there is a front office supervisor. Below the front office supervisor, there are the several positions such as guest service agent or reception, reservation, telephone operator. And the other side, there are concierge or bell captain and bellman or bellboy. Now, let me explain one by one about the responsibility of the duty of each position here. First is front office manager. Will have a big responsibility of all performance of this staff here. The other one here is to give a report to general manager about the hotel operation, especially in the front office department. So, front office manager here will responsible on the duty or responsibility by all the division here. The front office manager also participates in the selection and recruitment process for employees at the front office and evaluates the work ability of subordinates, control the use master key, and resolve guest problem if the problem is severe. And the second, now I will move on to the assistant front office manager. As its name, assistant means duty here to assist or to help front office manager in running in front office department. The second one here, responsibility of the assistant front office manager is to create and running training development for the staff, making job instruction and standard operational procedure in section of front office department. And now, I will move on to front office supervisor. And its name, on again, the front office supervisor here will supervise all the division here and then making the report to the assistant front office manager. And also, the job here is to coordinate to each division in the front office department. The next one, the responsibility of the job here is to make night auditor report, and then the most important one is to handle any guest complaint and any guest request which cannot be handled by a service agent or reception here. So will there is complaint, example, any further solution or any further action from the hotel, example, the guest service agent will report to the front office supervisor to handle complaints, the handle requests. And now Let me move on to the guest service agent, or usually called GSA or reception. The main responsibility of GSA are to handle guest registration and check-in, to give service before and during stay. Next one is respond or guest billing, and the last one to handle guest complaint and guest requests. So there is a complaint. Guest service agent will responsible with a kind of complaint and handle it. Now, let's move on to the reservation. The main responsibility of reservation is to record all room reservation to be given to the guest service, attendant, or reception. Next, what is process all reservation booked by guests by phone, letter, or via email. If there is a call or letter from the guest who will check in, the reservation will be picked up the telephone or reply the letter or email as soon as possible. And then, reservation will give all the information about room availability and ask to the guest about the book of room which needed. Now, let's move on to the telephone operator. Usually, telephone operator be next to the reservation in the back office. The responsibility of telephone operator is pick up the telephone and receive incoming and outgoing calls, and then give all information about the hotel. The other side of responsibility of telephone operator is to make a wake-up call according by guest request. Not only that, the telephone operator must also master all emergency handling procedure. And then now, let me move on to the next side. It's called concierge or bell captain. So, the main responsibility here belongs to supervise the process of keeping luggage of the guests, especially at the system. The next one is give information related to transportation needed by the guests, and this is special job for concierge or bell captain is to give any information related to restaurant or culinary item recommended to the guests. The last now, I want to tell you what the responsibility of the bellman or bellboy is have to the guests to handling keeping the luggage, and for the luggage divided into two: luggage up and luggage down. Luggage up we stick to the room, and luggage down we take to lobby for the guests to check out. So here we'll have all the record of the luggage that guests have. Alright everyone, that's all about hotel organizational structure, especially in front office department. I do apologize if there are any mistakes. See you again and have a good day.